Hello, good everyone, and welcome back to your YouTube channel. And welcome to another exciting edition of my Premier League prediction for Game Week 8. So, before I talk about the Game Week 8, I want to welcome you all back from the international break. Welcome from the long international break. Sometimes it can be boring, sometimes we use it to catch up time, leave football for a while. Like me, I actually left football for some time and I came back to sports, studying, and getting back to business. So, we are back to business right now. So let's see how we fared actually in game week 7. In game week 7, I had six correct results prediction, and I just missed four results prediction. No correct score, but I had six correct results, which is not too bad. 8.5 points, and in my league, I'm actually fourth, whereby Ojo is actually top in the group, but actually fourth in the group. And let's see, I'll talk about that much more as we go on. So let's first see how we fared in this, my prediction, how I got six correctly and missed the four. So the first game was Liverpool against Crystal Palace. Actually, Crystal Palace played at home in this game. I actually predicted a 2-1 win in this game for Liverpool to win Crystal Palace 2-1. But of course, they won that game actually, but it actually ended 1-0. Like I was saying, I talked about it that Liverpool could be very tight in their defense. Alexander Arnold could make a difference, which he actually did. Liverpool was tight in their defense, and they actually kept a clean sheet. I predicted 2-1, but it ended 1-0, and that's why it was a close prediction. And it was a correct result, actually. So the next game was Arsenal against Southampton. Everyone actually knew that Arsenal, with their current form, is going to beat Southampton. And I actually predicted 3-0 because I felt that the defense of the Arsenals are very strong, considering we have the Raya, which is the goalkeeper, and we have Gabriel and Saliba and White. So we just felt that that defense would be locked in, but no, I was actually wrong there because Southampton, which is the worst team in the Premier League right now, actually scored against us, actually conceded against Southampton. That's a crazy one, but it's football, it happens. So that game actually ended 3-1. I actually predicted 3-0. Very close. I got the numbers of goals that Arsenal are going to score because I expected them to actually score 3 goals, and they actually scored that 3 goals. But Southampton just actually replied that goal. That's why it ended 3-1. So the next game was Brighton against Wolves. That game actually ended 5-3. It's a lot of goals in that game. I expected Mbamo to actually score a lot of goals in that game, but no, I think he scored just 1 goal in that game. And I predicted the 2-1. I thought it was going to be tightly contested between Brentford and Wolves, but Wolves have not learned their lesson. Chelsea gave them 5-2, and they also got some whipping. They're also playing Manchester City this weekend, I guess. And allowing Brentford to be beating you, scoring you over 5 goals is just crazy. So that game actually ended 5-3. I predicted that Brentford was going to win that game, and they actually did. And that's a plus for me. I also got that's 3 correct results in a row, as I've highlighted. Then the fourth game was my first wrong result. Actually, Leicester City beat Bournemouth 1-0. A newly promoted side has beaten a team that's actually in England for a while, a couple of times now. I didn't expect that game to be so easy for Leicester City. They were very strong in their defense. Bournemouth, with likes of Simeon, could not score any goal past the Leicester City side, who were at home in this game. I thought that game is going to be tightly contested and it's going to be ending a stalemate, but no, I was wrong. Leicester City actually scored a single goal in that game and ended that game 1-0. And the next game was Manchester City against Fulham. This was a nerve-cracking game. I actually predicted a 3-0 victory for Manchester City, but I was wrong. Fulham actually almost won this game. It ended 3-2, tightly contested. Haaland blanked. Haaland didn't score in this game. Kovacic was saved Manchester City. I think he scored about 2 goals. He had a brace in that game then. Doku, one of my favorite players, probably scored a goal in that game. That's actually made it 3-2. And Fulham was almost replying this Manchester City side, almost drawing the game. But the quality of Pep Guardiola and Manchester City made this game so good for Manchester City to win this game actually. So Man City, I feel they were lucky in my own side. They were quite lucky to win this game. Fulham has been quite decent. We'll see that's why we are talking about the prediction I have for this game week. Fulham has been really decent. Honestly, they have won some games that we never expect. And I really didn't expect them to give Man City a tough time, but they actually did. So this game ended 3-2. Thank goodness Man City actually won, and that was a correct result for me again. And West Ham versus Ipswich, yeah, correctly predicted. I predicted a 2-0, but it ended 4-1. West Ham actually scored more goals past the Ipswich Town side. Ipswich was getting better in their defense and their attacking side. Also, we'll see that in a couple of minutes now. I thought it's going to be tightly contested. They're going to hold West Ham a little bit down, but no, West Ham actually went rampage on them and won them 4-1. So that's how that game ended. And the next game was Everton against Newcastle. I actually predicted that Everton is going to win 2-1. Considering their recent form, Everton has been doing well lately. Newcastle is a very good team, no doubt. Of course, I think a lot of people went for Newcastle actually winning this game. But I was bold enough to say Everton is going to win this game, but it actually ended the draw. Both teams the thing is that Newcastle is stronger. Everton is coming up. They've been losing a couple of games. I think their last 3 games now ended the victory. They win some very good games. And I felt that they're going to continue on that run because Everton is actually having a good run at the moment. But no, I was wrong there. Everton was very clinical in their defense. They kept a clean sheet. Newcastle also they kept a clean sheet because they don't want to lose against a bottom team side. So that game actually ended 0-0, stalemate, and I was wrong in my result. And the next game is one of my favorites, Onana, I guess, yeah, Manchester United versus Aston Villa. And this game actually ended 0-0. Funny enough, I have criticized Onana in many videos, but funny enough, if I show you the stats, Onana is the only keeper who has actually kept the most clean sheet. And Manchester United has actually been the only team who has kept the most clean sheet in the Premier League this season so far. It's been 7 game weeks already, and Manchester United have gotten more clean sheet than any other team in the league. So Onana has been doing extremely well. It ended 0-0. I actually predicted a draw because I know that this game, there's no way Manchester United can win this game. And also Aston Villa coming from fatigue, UEFA Champions League, they won a game against Bayern Munich. So yeah, and they were quite tired, fatigue against a team who is not doing well at the moment. It's going to end the stalemate. I was spot on. It ended 0-0. I predicted 1-1, and it was a very close score, as you can see. And Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. If you remember this game, I talked about it, that it's very possible that Nottingham Forest are tagged as the legend killers. They're very possible that they are going to do very well against a big side, which is Chelsea right now, because Chelsea is in the top 4. So I think I can call them a big side right now. They're in the top 4, and they played extremely well against Chelsea, gave Chelsea tough time, almost winning that game. Chelsea quality played in, and that game actually ended 1-1. I predicted a 3-1, considering the fact that Chelsea have been beating a lot of teams. Before this game, Chelsea have been scoring at least 4 goals in every game. And considering the fact that they are playing Nottingham Forest, which is a decent side and a legend killer, they could reduce that 1 goal by 1, and that's why I predicted 3-1. But I was wrong. It ended a draw. I was wrong in that prediction. Kudos to Nottingham Forest, which proved me wrong and made me verify that they are actually legend killers. They actually perform well against the top sides and lose or don't perform well against a middle team or a low team. That's Nottingham Forest for you. And I think this is the last game for the game week 7. And Bradford against Tottenham, and the game actually ended 3-2. Bradford actually won Tottenham. I actually thought this game is going to be a draw, considering the fact that both of them are good qualities, but I was wrong. I think in this game, Tottenham was leading 2-0 at the beginning of this game, but guess what? Bradford came out and said, no, we are not underdogs. You can't just push us because Chelsea just won us. You think we can just lose? No. But Bradford actually came back 2-1, 2-2, 3-2. It was a dream. It was like a dream for Tottenham, but they didn't take their defense seriously, and they got punished. So Bradford won them 3-2 in this game, and that's how the last week game week fed. So I'll be talking about my league, which I was talking about earlier. At the end of round 7 now, Ben Ojo is topping the league, whereby I'm fourth in this league. Remember when I think in game week 2 I was bottom of the league, but like I say, my prediction is based on trends and analysis. Watching the trend, with the analysis, I was coming up and I'm now up to. I think I was third before now. I'm now dropped to fourth. But the truth is that in this league, I'm always winning the league. And that's why I put a tag prize that anyone who can beat me in this league is going to be getting a 30,000 naira cash prize at the end of the season. I think Ben won the last one last season, and before Ben, I've always been winning this league. So let's see if you're bold enough, you can join me in this league. The site is Super BRU. When you log into superbru.com, then you come into the link, you click on the league, you come into the league, and you put in the league with code, and the league code is teescome. As you can see, it teescome. So you log into superbru.com. It's free to join. Go into the league teescome, and when you come into the league, you join me and my family and friends in the league, and let's see how we actually fared in this league. Let's see if you can be able to finish ahead of me. If you feel you can predict better, let's come in there and come in for the challenge. So before I go into my prediction for round 8, let's quickly talk about the stats so far. Like this, stats really help us in the Premier League. Stats really help us to actually predict these games. We don't just sit down somewhere and just predict games 0-0, 1-1, but we actually have a track record. Football, the teams have a track record. The way they perform during the week in, week out. So from there we can see the current trend and know how they will perform week in, week out. So as you can see from the screen, Manchester City are the team that has the highest goal right now. I think last week it was Chelsea that had the highest goal, but right now Chelsea had a 1-1 game, and Man City actually trashed their opponent 3-2 against Fulham. So Manchester City has 17 goals right now, so they are the team with the highest goals. So if you are looking for a team who's going to score the highest goal, you can see the top 4 teams: Man City number 1, Chelsea number 2, Arsenal and Spurs number 4. So Man City has the highest goals. Then the team that has the highest numbers of win, or the total win so far in the Premier League, is Liverpool. Liverpool has won a lot of games, second by Arsenal, third by Man City, then Aston Villa and Chelsea share 4 wins. Then the worst team in England, like I said, Southampton right now are the worst team in England. Wolves have joined them. Wolves, I don't know, they have not been doing so well. They've been better, but this season they are looking at relegation. Crystal Palace actually started this season very badly, and they are still very bad at the moment. Everton started very badly, but now they are improving. At least they won their last 2 games, I think. Then their last game, they actually did not win that game. So that's the start. So let's talk about how we are going to fare this new week. So before I talk about my prediction for the new week, like I said, I use the site Super BRU, and it's a free site. You can join us. You predict 10 games. These 10 games are the games played in the Premier League every game week. Okay, so we have 10 games every game week, and when you predict these games, if you can score at least out of the 10 games, you can score 7 correct score, you are going to likely get this 28 points, including your slam points. 7 correct score, 7 multiplied by 3, that's 21, plus the slam points, which can come in within range of 1 to about 10. You can get the 28 points, which aims you 20 million naira. Depends on the country where you are. You have your own prizes. This prize is being offered by Super BRE, so it's free to join. You can join, you can have fun, play with your friends and family if you love football, and this helps you keep track of the Premier League, which we all love. So my prediction for the game week 8, is as follows. So my first prediction for the week is Tottenham versus West Ham. So I'm predicting that this game is going to end a 2-1. Tottenham is going to beat West Ham 2-1. That's my prediction. And if you look at the stats, you see that apart from that game that Brentford has won Tottenham away from home 3-2, you see that Tottenham actually beat Manchester United 3-0 away from home. They beat Brentford, which have Mbemo 3-1. and they lost against Arsenal, they lost against Newcastle. We can understand that. And they also won Everton 4-0. They drew Leicester in the opening game 1-1. So they're a very decent side, beating a team like Manchester United, which have a very strong defensive side, as you could see. Onana actually keeping a lot of clean sheets, and Brentford, which is a very, very stubborn side, 3-1. So that's why I've actually tipped them to actually win this game 2-1. They are going to concede because if you look at the stats, you see that they've conceded in that stats. And you see West Ham also. West Ham have actually been doing well. They score virtually in all the games. I think apart from this Chelsea game that they lost, they've scored in every of other games. So I think they are going to also continue their decent run and score against Tottenham, which their defense is not the best in the league. So I predicted 2-1. So the next game at Craven Cottage, Fulham will be hosting Aston Villa. You remember Aston Villa is the Champions League side. Is the Champions League side right now. They're doing extremely well, but their attention is for now divided. Fulham has been doing well lately, and if you see, apart from this Manchester City game, which they almost won that game, but it ended 3-2 because of the quality of Guardiola and the team. You see that they defeated the legend killers, Nottingham Forest, 1-0. They defeated the very good team Newcastle 3-1 at home. They also won Leicester 2-1. They just drew their last. They had a draw against West Ham and Ipswich, and they lost that opening game. Very, very late goal in against Manchester City in that opening game. Against Manchester United, sorry, in that opening game. So apart from that, they have been doing so well. Not so bad team. And they're playing against an Aston Villa side, which will be thinking about the Champions League and also thinking about their league game. So I guess fatigue would kick in. Aston Villa uses the same team week in, week out. Fatigue is going to keep kicking here. Fulham has a balanced team. They have been resting and they don't have any other major competition they are pursuing, just like Aston Villa. So I believe this game is going to end a draw 1-1. And considering the international break, so I feel this game is going to end a draw. The teams will also be thinking about the Champions League next week. So that game ends 1-1. That's my prediction. So the next game is Ipswich against Everton. Everton is a regenerated side. And if you look at Everton, like I said, regenerated, they lost their first 4 games. And in their last 3 games, oh, sorry, I think I talked about them winning, but they actually have not lost those last 3 games. But they won at home, their first win so far this season against Crystal Palace, which has not been doing so well. But they drew against Leicester and they drew against Newcastle. So I feel when they are playing against Ipswich, which is a newly promoted side, they are going to try to extend their points by winning this game. They have won Crystal Palace right now, so I feel they should try to win this game. The last time they played against a promoted side was a 1-1, but I feel the way they are playing right now, honestly, they're going to play well and they're going to beat this Ipswich Town. Stubborn Ipswich side, they have not won any game so far this season, but they have a couple of draw, and I think they will try to draw against Everton. So if this game is not going to be ending 3-1 as I've predicted, definitely it's going to be ending a draw. I don't see Ipswich Town winning this game at all, honestly. So the next game at Old Trafford, Onana and his people will be welcoming Brentford, the stubborn Brentford. We know how Brentford is very stubborn with Ubemo. Let's look at Brentford, the stubborn Brentford. You see that in every game they have played, they have scored in every game, apart from Liverpool. And that was away from home against Liverpool, which have barely conceded any goal this season. So I feel it's going to be very difficult for Onana to actually keep a clean sheet. Honestly, Onana has been doing so well. He has really impressed so far. It's going to really be difficult to stop. It's possible, but it's going to be difficult. So I've actually predicted that this game is going to end a draw 1-1. I don't see a lot of people are predicting that Manchester United is going to win this game. Looking at these stats from Twitter, you see during the international break, Manchester United had a very, very good international break with their players. We see Joshua having a goal and assist. We see MC Tomine having a goal, Garnacho having an assist, Maguire having a clean sheet, Dalot having a goal, and Bruno Fernandes having an assist. So right now, Manchester United, their players are actually doing well. That is in the international break. But we are talking about Team Helga at the moment. So this is a new manager. This is a different manager with the same players. Can he gel these players to perform results? That's the big question. I really don't think so. So I think they are going to continue their draw streak, and I don't see them beating Brentford. But it's possible, football, anything can happen. But this Brentford side, I trust them. They can't go down against Manchester United. I don't think so. Considering the start of Manchester United, they have just two wins. A very lucky win against Fulham in the first game, scored that goal in the 82 minutes or so, and against the worst team in England. Southampton. That's the only 3 points I've had. So how would you tell me they're going to have another 3 points against this Brentford side, which have 3 wins more than Manchester United, have played tougher games, have beaten Crystal Palace, have beaten Wolves, have also beaten the Southampton that Manchester United has beaten. So I really don't think Manchester United can win this game, despite the fact that their players actually did well in the international break. So I predicted 1-1 in that game, but Onana can prove me wrong. We shall see. So the next game, Newcastle will be welcoming Brentford in the St James Park Stadium, and I'm predicting that game is going to end a 1-1 draw. Newcastle is a team that is not just really predictable this season. All right, they have drawn against very top side like Manchester City. They've won Tottenham. They've won also Southampton. But easy games like Everton, if they can give a tough time against Man City and also won Tottenham, easy game like Everton, you're supposed to win that, but no, they didn't win that. Fulham actually beat them away from home. So it's a team that cannot really be predicted at the moment. And Brentford is also not a very bad side. Brentford has actually won Manchester United, won Everton, won Tottenham, but Chelsea has been clinical away from home, so you can't just talk about that Chelsea result because Chelsea have won every of their away game this season so far. Every away game Chelsea has played have won them this season and with many goals. So apart from that, you see that they have drawn all games and won all games, removing that Chelsea side. So looking at that, that's why I've actually predicted that this game is going to end 1-1 because Newcastle is a very decent side. Brentford is also a very decent side, and I think the decency will lead them into 1-1. So that's my prediction. Then the next game, Southampton, which is the worst team in England, will be welcoming Leicester City at the St. Mary's Stadium. So I think that this game is going to end 1-1. Southampton has not won any game. They have just drawn just one game. And that was the last draw came in September at home. That's very terrible. And I know that the manager right now will be under serious pressure to perform. Else he's going to lose his job before the next international break, which is coming up very soon, which I will talk about after this prediction. You see that they just have just one draw. So they are under a lot of pressure to perform right now. They are last in the table. They are the worst team. Everyone's looking at them and they're under pressure. They are going to be playing like they are playing a cup final right now at the moment because the manager's job is on the line and we'll see that they are going to perform extremely well. Then Leicester City has just won one game, which is their last game against Bournemouth. It was a surprise victory actually because I actually predicted that game is going to end 1-1. But apart from that victory that they've had, they've actually drawn and lost games. So playing against a Southampton side which want to revive their season, I think that Leicester will not find it easy, and Southampton will try to win. If Southampton doesn't win this game, like I said, it's going to end a 1-1. So I don't see Leicester actually having a win against Bournemouth and also having another win against Southampton because they are the bad side. But I feel that this game is going to end a draw. But we shall see. So Bournemouth against Arsenal. So I feel that Arsenal is going to win this game with a clean sheet. Not just winning this game, but winning this game with a clean sheet. Arsenal has not kept a clean sheet in a while right now. They kept their last clean sheet against Tottenham with 15th of September, 1-0. I think, and they have not lost any game this season. They've just drawn two games against Man City and against Brighton, sorry. Those are the only two games they have drawn and they have won every other game. So no doubt they are going to win this game. But if you look at this Brentford side, they were very terrible against Leicester. They also lost against Liverpool, lost against Chelsea, won the worst team in England, Southampton 3-1. So I don't think they have the quality. They don't have enough quality to win or draw against Arsenal side. And Arsenal side considering the fact that they're the best defense in England right now in the Premier League, I think they are going to try to address that defense and not concede. And I think they are going to do that in this game. So that defense will be tighter than their attack. And that's why I've predicted that this game is going to end 2-0. And again, if you look at, apart from these last two games in that Arsenal actually played against Leicester and against Southampton, their goals tally has just been 2-2-2. Okay, they didn't score enough goals against Brighton and Tottenham, but it's been two. So they love two goals. They just love to score two goals and keep it clean. And I believe they will have the way they started the season, first two games, two goals, and keeping a clean sheet. I think they will want to continue that run and remind themselves that in order to win games, you have to keep clean sheets. And that is what the manager Arteta has been telling his players. And I guess that's what's actually going to happen. So the next game, Wolves is going to be welcoming the great Manchester City side, and I predicted that this game is going to end a 4-1. A lot of people are saying that Man City is going to win this game with a clean sheet, but I really don't think so. Because if you look at the Wolves side, Wolves have scored in every game apart from Arsenal. They scored against Chelsea, they scored against Nottingham Forest, they scored against Newcastle, they scored against Aston Villa, they scored against Liverpool, they scored against Brentford. And I think they're also going to score against Man City side, which have been scared of keeping clean sheet so far. Man City, if you look at this stats, Man City have only kept one clean sheet against Chelsea, and that's the only clean sheet I've kept all season. So I don't think I feel they are going to try to keep a clean sheet in this game, but they are going to focus more on their attacking side because they won't want to risk losing or drawing another game because they have drawn a game against Newcastle, they have drawn a game against Arsenal. So I don't think they will want to, and they almost lost or drew this game against Fulham. I don't think they will want to risk that. They will focus on the attacking side and try to win this game ruthlessly. And Haaland will be at the heart of it. Haaland performed very woefully in the international break as usual, but I feel in Manchester City he's not being judged by his country performance. So I think he's going to do well, definitely. Then I think this is the last game for the game week 8. Liverpool is going to be welcoming Chelsea at Anfield Stadium. And I'm predicting that this game is going to end 2-2. I know I'm going to have a lot of sticks on this game. A lot of people say, why will I predict this game that Liverpool is supposed to win this game? Yes, of course, Liverpool has only lost just one game this season and has not drawn anything. They have been winning all the games. They have been doing so well. On the start I showed earlier, Liverpool have the highest amount of win so far in the Premier League. They have been doing extremely well. They beat Ipswich, they beat Brentford, they beat Manchester United, they beat Bournemouth, they beat Wolves, they beat Crystal Palace, and they've been beating everybody apart from the legend killers, Nottingham Forest, who actually killed them and won them 1-0 against the Chelsea side. Now, why I'm predicting that Chelsea will not lose this game is because just look at our away form. You see that our away form against Wolves, we won 6-2, doing very well. Against Bournemouth away, we won 1-0. Against West Ham away, we won 3-0. And those are the three games we have played away. 3/3 on our away form. But our home game, apart from Brighton, we won that game, we'll be shaking away at home in our home game. So if this game was home, I could say Liverpool could win us. But this is away. Don't write off Chelsea and their away form. So don't write off Chelsea and away form. At the same time, Liverpool has actually been good. I don't see any winner in this game, but who knows? Chelsea can just edge it and that's how we'll do it. So there's another game coming up, the Legend Killers, and this is the final game, which is going to be happening on Monday. The Legend Killers, Nottingham Forest, will be playing against a non-legend team, Crystal Palace. And I think that this game is going to end 1-0. As usual, Crystal Palace will try to keep it very, very defensive at the beginning of this game and try to edge a Crystal Palace side which has not been doing well at all this season. Has no win so far, barely have clean sheet, just one clean sheet. And I just feel that the Legend Killers will need a win and will need this victory in order for them to rise up above the top 10 and also if they can push into Europe this season. So this is a very, very excellent timing to play against a Crystal Palace side which is not good so far and try to edge into the Europe spots this season. So that's the prediction for game week 8, and I'll just be taking my summary pick of my prediction. So the pick goes like this. Tottenham 2, West Ham 1, Fulham 1, Aston Villa 1, Ipswich Town 1, Everton 3, Manchester United 1, Brentford 1, Newcastle 1, Brighton 1, Southampton 1, Leicester City 1, Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 2, Wolves 1, Manchester City 4, Liverpool 2, Chelsea 2, and finally Nottingham Forest 1, Crystal Palace 0. So thank you very much on this analysis and prediction. So make sure you give my video a like, make comment, click on the subscribe button, share the video to all football fans, lovers of football around the world. Let them share their thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you and bye bye.